Okay, now we are back in the Round Denmark race, the Garmin Round Denmark race studio, and once again we have a few updates and some hopefully interesting content for you about the longest and toughest sail race, and I'd rather say one of the toughest endurance sports in Denmark anyway, and in Scandinavia. I think 650 nautical miles solo sailing around in the Danish and German and Swedish waters. First of all, I just spoke to race director Jens Wilhelmsen concerning the boat that we had. What do we call it? And kind of an emergency situation earlier today. It was the Bavaria 38 match called Eufosa with Dirk Eggers, who's the skipper. The good news is that he is sound and safe. He has come to Kaløvig Bådlaug, and here the boat will be taken ashore tomorrow. Kaløvig has been very helpful and picked Dirk and his boat up. Dirk will be driving back to where he comes from in Germany, Flensburg, tomorrow, and then he will be back on Monday. And we will have a chat with him later on to hear what actually happened. But what we know so far is that the boat had a serious keel damage. But as I said before, Dirk is well, and the boat is still floating. So I guess that is so far all good. All right, to bring something else in play, let's see the current positions for the boats. These boats up here in the front of the race, they have a really tough battle. When I made the positions at 9 o'clock, it was Beluga, Anders Johansen, Danish sailor, who was in the lead. But he is not anymore, as you can see. So it's the Swedish boat Embla who has been in the front most of the day, and then it's the Figaro 2 with Jan Hansen, Danish renowned sailor, and very impressive, I think, Per Siderberg in his Seascape 2027, who is really pushing it to the limit, I'd say. But as I told you before, we had Anders Johansen in the lead for some time, and now I'm gonna show you a little interview I made with him just before he docked out earlier today.
Double-handed victories and stuff like that, but this is something else, I guess. Yeah, it's completely different. I've sailed the
Okay, I was just told by a friendly viewer, Nikolai Søgaard, that there was no sound on this interview. So unfortunately, I will have to bring this interview later on. But still, there's a lot to. Thank you, Nikolai. Very helpful. There's still more to report before we shut the studio down for today. You can go to the homepage, rounddenmarkrace.com. Here you can see the positions in the different categories, and just to give you the leading persons at the moment, it's Per Siderberg, as I told you, in the Seascape 27. then it was, or it is still, Anders Johansen in his category, the large category, which is boats between 30 and 35 feet, foot. He's sailing at JPK 1030. Then we have Kim Basland, which is, to me anyway, a bit of a surprise that he's in the lead of the large category. He's doing a great job in his Olsen 370. And then finally, we have Anders Nyberg leading not only the race, but the whole, not only, yeah, of course, he's leading not only his class, but the whole race as such. He's sailing in a French boat, an RM 1350. At the moment, as you saw before, maybe they're doing around 10 knots. They are approximately 60-65 nautical miles south of Skagen, where they're going to round the east buoy outside Skagen. And what they're doing now is really nice and easy sailing, I'd say, going with some loose sheets and heading north with a speed that would get them there if this holds to about 6 or 7 hours. This is the situation. We get it here. This is the weather situation right now. And what you see here is pretty good wind. I was just gonna show you the tracks from before. Here we are again. They're doing these 10 knots, 8 knots, and what they're looking into is some hours of nice wind. But what will happen when they get to Skagen this morning is something like this, which is really a no wind situation. As you can see, this is between 0 and 2 meters per second, and up here they'll have a slightly tiny bit of more wind. But what is also maybe of interest for the sailors is that they will have the current is pushing them out of further out of the Kattegat and into Skagerrak. So if they don't pay attention, then they get into 0 wind, and they also get into a current running north. So I'd say right now everything is cool and under control, doing 10 knots, heading in the right direction. But in a few hours, 6 hours, they'll be at Skagen, something like that, and then I think the struggle begins. Okay, that's it for now. I promise you I will be back with the pre-race interview with both Anders Johansen, but also Jan Hansen and Harman de Jong and Per Silberberg. I've got all the top contestants interviewed. Let's hear what they have to say, but that will be tomorrow. For now, we're closing the studio down, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you will follow the race on Round Denmark race. We have updates here, and also we will have updates on our Facebook page. All right, stay tuned. See you later, alligator.